everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my experience studying abroad through the UCEAP program specifically. So for those of you that don't know, I am a UC San Diego student, and the UCEAP is the University of California Education Abroad program. So that's what it stands for, but I'm just going to keep calling it UCEAP because that's the easiest way to say it. And I think that all students that are UC students can apply to this program, and there are a bunch of places that you can apply to. There's like, I don't know, London and Paris and Europe, there's South America and places, there's Africa if you want to go there, there's a lot of places in Asia. For Asia, I know that Japan has a lot of great schools that you can apply to, like Waseda and Keio, and even Todai if you want to go there, Odai, or Handai, I guess, Osaka Daigaku. And then Korea has Yonsei only, I think. And then Hong Kong, there's like HKU and a couple more that I don't really know, but I know that there are a ton of schools to choose from. So I just decided to go to Korea because that's where I ended up going. I don't know. And I wanted to talk to you about my experience as a UC San Diego student going abroad to Korea through the UCEAP program. Just because that's the only thing I know, so I can't speak for the experience of like Berkeley students because I'm not a Berkeley student. But I'm sure there are other videos out there, or there's like more websites out there where you can get more information if you'd like. But just letting you know, short disclaimer, I'm a UC San Diego student, so that's the experience that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about was my experience before I left Korea, or before I left the US for Korea. So, you know, all the paperwork and stuff like that. So I had to gather like paperwork, information, have my passport, copies, and send those in. And the most tedious thing that I had to do was I had to figure out the classes that I was going to be taking in Korea. And because I'm not fluent in Korean, I would be taking English classes while I was over there. So basically what you have to do is go to the EAP website, or I think it's called My PAO, so My Programs Abroad Office. You have to go on that website and then find the school that you're going to be studying abroad at, and then find the classes that they offered in the previous years, and then take those syllabuses or syllabi, and then take those to your GE advisor, like your general education advisor, or your college advisor, or your major advisor, or your minor advisor. So what I did was I found a bunch of classes that go towards my major and for my minor as well, and then so I took it to both of those advisors. And you have to get those signed off and make sure that they will count towards your, how do I say this? They will count towards your credit to graduate for your major or your minor. So I did that before I left, right? But the weird thing is how it works is that you don't actually know if those credits are going to count or not, because you don't know if those classes, like the same exact classes that you got signed off on, are going to be offered when you're actually there. So basically for me, I was thinking about taking something like international money and finance, or international politics in money, or something like that, and that would go towards my major, which is international studies economics. And I also wrote that I was going to take Korean economy and maybe one more econ class, like macro econ or micro econ, just something basic like that. And then so I took that syllabi, took it to my advisor, and they said, okay, yes, we will sign off on this. You will get credit towards your major if you take these classes. But when you actually go to Korea, they may not offer these classes. So what you have to do is when you get to Korea and you sign up for your classes, make sure that you keep all of your paperwork, keep all of your tests, keep all of your notebooks or anything like that that you may have, bring them back, and you have to petition for your classes. So I'm currently in that process right now, and I took 2 marketing classes. Sorry, I don't know why, but my head is like itchy. So I took 2 marketing classes in Korea that were towards my minor, which is business with an emphasis in marketing, and they should transfer over as credits towards my minor. But I do not know if they will, so that's quite frustrating for me, but I know that everyone else is also having this problem, so I think that that's just how it is, that's just how it works. And like I've heard, one of my friends, or like 2 of my friends actually, went to study abroad in Japan 2 years ago, and they both went for an entire year. And one of them is a Japanese, I want to say like Japanese culture or Japanese language. She's a Japanese something major, but she didn't get any of her classes in the entire year that she was there. So I think that it's really, really important if you're an EAP student or if you're a UC San Diego student, because I'm not sure about the other schools, to make sure that your classes are going to count towards your major, your minor, your GE requirements, whatever, because yeah, they might not, and that's kind of scary if you're, counting on that to help you graduate. So for me personally, I have these 2 classes that I took in Korea that I want to make sure count towards my minor. If they don't, I think I have to take a summer class or 2 summer classes, but that's not that big of a deal, right? But there are some people that are there for the entire year and their entire year doesn't get counted, or maybe a lot of their year doesn't get counted. So just make sure that when you're going into, thinking about studying abroad, just realize that you may have to take a few extra quarters, or you may have to take extra classes when you come back that are very similar to the ones that you took, because your credits might transfer or not transfer over the way that they're supposed to, or the way that you would like them to. So just keep that in mind, and that's the biggest advice that I can give you about that in terms of like credits transferring and stuff like that. And then for me, the Programs Abroad office was helpful, but there were some things that they don't know as well, but that's just kind of like it can't be helped, because things like on-campus housing or things like getting into the classes that you want to were really, really competitive, and I didn't know the degree of the competitiveness, I guess. So I went in thinking, yeah, I know they said it's competitive, but me getting into a dorm at UCSD my freshman year, they said that was going to be competitive too. They said me getting into my apartment on campus second year was going to be competitive, but I got into that too. So I was just kind of like, okay, I just have to be on time, submit my application on time, have everything ready. But I didn't get on-campus housing the first time, and I actually just got in off the wait list. So I think that is also something to really consider, like on-campus housing or getting your classes. There are things that may not go according to plan, but maybe that's all, kind of included in the studying abroad experience. It's just, some things are not, you have to be flexible, basically, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Is that, you might have to come back and take extra classes. You might not be able to get on-campus housing. But, even though these things are really stressful, I think that everything in the end will work out for you as it did for me, which is the hope, right? And then, let's see. So we had some trips through EAP, which was really nice. Basically, we had pretty much one thing per month while I was there. So in September, we went on that 2-day field trip, which the vlog is here. I will post that there. And then in October, we were supposed to go to see a Nanta performance, but we didn't go for some reason, which was actually quite depressing for me because I was really looking forward to that. And then November, we have Pepero Day stuff, which I have a vlog about Pepero Day, which I will put here. And then we also had a Thanksgiving banquet, which I don't have a video on, but it was just like a little banquet, and they tried to get us kind of American Thanksgiving type things because we miss Thanksgiving here. So we had like a roast chicken and pumpkin pie and mashed potatoes and gravy and that kind of thing. So that was pretty nice. That was on Thanksgiving Day in Korea. And then in December we had a farewell banquet, which was held at the Uceap building in Yoido, but I couldn't go because my cousin was actually in town. So I wasn't able to go to the December event, but what I was most disappointed about for the event is that for our field trip, we went to Gangwon-do, maybe? I don't even remember, that's so embarrassing. So we went somewhere and we did like rail biking, whatever I talked about in the video, which I will put here again, just in case you missed it. Click there. So we did a bunch of stuff while we were there, but I heard that the summer study abroad students and the spring study abroad students go to Jeju and Busan. So I was really upset because I was like, okay, I'm here in fall, but nothing's happening. Like, we're just going kind of on this bus ride to like the middle of nowhere, or like on the east side, and we're not doing much. But like, I really wanted to go to Busan and go to Jeju, and I think they fly, I'm not sure, but yeah, I just felt like that wasn't that great of a field trip, but I think I might also be really spoiled in saying that. So all of these trips or these events were free because we already paid EAP fee basically before going there. And the only way that the only thing that you have to pay is a deposit. So we basically paid 2만 won, which is like $20-ish per every event, and said that we were gonna go. If you went to the event, you got your money back. So that was for everything. That was for the Thanksgiving banquet, that was for the farewell banquet, and that was even for the trip. So everything is free depending on how you look at it, but it was pretty good. It was nice, but I really wish I had gone to Jeju or Busan or had the ability to do that. And then there are also some other opportunities through EAP, like certain programs such as learning Korean slang. There was like a workshop every week. There was a volunteer opportunity to go teach English to, I think, North Korean refugees, to children, to other students or something like that. And then there was also internships at other companies. But the internship, you had to be fluent in Korean. And then the volunteering, depending on which volunteer group that you decided to teach English to, you had to speak a little bit of Korean or not. So those were the opportunities that they had through EAP. I actually didn't engage in any of them, but that's just because I wasn't interested in them. But there are a lot of people that did utilize those opportunities, and there are a ton of people that met friends through the EAP program. So like, I'm friends with some of the people from my study abroad experience through the EAP program on Facebook and stuff. But I see that the friends I made have a lot of friends that they made during EAP, which is quite nice. But I only have like one or two good friends. One is Isaac, who you saw in a video before, and then one is Stephanie, who you also saw in a video before. And then there's this girl named Anna, who was also in a video with the food compilation, who goes to my school. So I talk to her sometimes here, which is quite nice. But I didn't have any friends like that I knew when I was going to Korea, and it was totally fine for me. Like, it worked out fine. So don't be worried if you are like the only one going from your school or something like that, because even though I wasn't, I didn't know anybody that was going to Korea, so I felt like it was basically the same thing. And I ended up making enough friends to feel comfortable with and have like a support group, and that was really nice. So I do think that the EAP program helps you kind of facilitate making friends or like meeting people, and that was quite nice too. So yeah, that's about it for my experience through the EAP program, which is super redundant now. I realize it's like saying ATM machine, right? Anyway, so yeah, if you have any more questions, please let me know down below. Remember to check out my other videos, and I will talk to you some other time. Bye!
Alright, run it.
Alright, so here is my frequently asked questions on my life in Korea. So I have about 8 questions, maybe 7? Okay, so I'll just go ahead and get started. The first question is study abroad in Korea worth it? I don't know how to answer this question, but I will just answer from personal experience. Yes, it is totally worth it. I think there's a lot of things that factor into your experience being worth it or not. Like, you know, there's did you meet your goals? Like, did you get what you wanted out of it when you were thinking about going before actually arriving in Korea?